I forgot to turn my audio on. There we go. I apologize, folks. I hit the wrong button. I'm sitting here talking, and you couldn't hear me at all. Hello, everyone. Local marketer Michael Woodruff. Let's start this up right here. Oh my gosh, it is live. Got this little button on the bottom of the page. I forgot to turn the little microphone on so I can hear myself. I see it going back and forth. I got audio, but I didn't have the audio on. This is the part of my life that just makes things interesting. But anyway, welcome to the program, everyone. Um, for the next 30 minutes, like I said before, next 30 minutes, we're going to be discussing how to design something. And we're going to be using AI today, mainly ChatGPT. Now, of course, we've heard ChatGPT. It's been in the news a lot. It is at the forefront of a lot of businesses using it to streamline their business and other things. For me, as a creator, as a marketer, as a media guy, um, it, it's a mixed blessing. For one thing, I don't want. There's a lot of DIYers out there, right? The do-it-yourselfers, and people can do it, and they run with it and they use it. That's fine. That's great. That's wonderful. The problem is that it might get so good that a guy like me might be obsolete eventually. And I spent a lot of money, time, effort, and just a lot of experience in building what I'm trying to do here. And then just somebody come along and make a program, but then it goes away. And that's a scary place to be. Now, having said that, AI is not the end all be all for everything. Because, for one thing, it is a tool. And like any tool, you have to um, know how to use it. So, for example, an oven can replace fire, right? Using a fireplace or just a fire pit, right? And cooking something. But then a microwave comes along, and now you have to use the microwave to cook things. But here's the thing, a microwave cannot cook a steak very well. A microwave cannot cook hot dogs very well. A microwave cannot bake a pie. You can reheat a pie, but you can't bake a pie. So AI is very much, and the way I think about it is, it's very much like that. You still have those elements that you have to go use another tool for. So to make a pie, you have to use the oven. To roast marshmallows, you still have to have a fire, right? So it's a tool, but it's not the end all be all for everything. Additionally, this tool is only as good as the user. So another good example is I can give you a hammer, right? But you can't build a house. That's for those DIYers out there. They might be able to make a birdhouse, maybe they'll make a tree house. But as for actually building a house, a two-story house to put people in and last for hundreds of years, that person can't do it. That person has to have a lot of experience with that hammer, has to know how to build things, how to design things, and such forth. And so I could tell AI to make me a logo based on my name, and it'll give me a logo. But it's not going to have elements in there unless I tell it what kind of elements there are in there. So that's where I'm still not obsolete because I have, like I said, I've got 30, well, let's say 40 plus years because I've been, doodling with things since I was in elementary school, right? And those are experiences. So, and I'm almost 50. So we'll say 40 years. That's generous. But then education wise, we'll say I've got 30 years since I've been doing this since high school. So, um, and so that's where that goes. And that's how we can frame that mindset of how we are going to use AI. Like again, like I said, it's not the end all be all. So Anyway, this is a good example of what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to do a basic thing. We are going to go back in time. Yeah, we're going to go back in time. And we are going to do this in such a way that you can do this at home and maybe even create something very magical for you and your family. It's that simple. So let's go on over here to this. We're going to bring up our screen here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to go over to ChatGPT and you're going to log in. Now, here's the thing. You can have a free service. The free service itself is great, but it does have limitations. Um, for example, the limitations are you will not be able to uh, edit pictures at a fast rate. It's kind of slow because you're behind the queue. We're talking millions of people are using ChatGPT, and guess what? You're the person using the free account. You're not going to get a priority on what's used. So shell out the $20 if you're really serious about this. I'd start with the trial first, and then go from there. And so I'll show you. See here, we'll go to my next page. We're going to use the screen here. I'm going to bring this up here. Hopefully this works. Right now you see my screen. I'm going to bring up ChatGPT. Oh, there went back to the secret here. And then we're going to go to ChatGPT. Now we're going to explain some things on the side here before we even get started, because um, I want you to understand that that ChatGPT has lots of other uses, and you'll if you go in there and start playing around and stuff, you might make yourself confused. For example, you've got this new chat, which is great because you can start with the new chat, or you can go down and you can label them down here, and you have a whole laundry list of things you can do. And these are the things I'm working on right now. I'm working on a networking call sheet, article ideas for a horror or article I'm working on. Emotional health. I've turned it into kind of like my therapist in a way, to where I'm working out some stuff and it's just telling me. Photo, video story, CMR violations and corrections, creating a lower third. This is what I used for creating, as a matter of fact, the graphics for my designs. I used it instead of spending hours and hours on it. I just told it what I wanted, and we worked through it together. And the list goes on and on and on. And so that's what we're going to do. Now, I took this to a whole nother level when it came to doing this, but we're going to do it very basic because I want you to understand. I don't want to confuse you with um, rules and everything else. Does that make sense? And my silly self forgot to push this over too. There we go. There we go. All right, now it works. I had to look at my viewer here and my monitor on my phone here because I didn't see. I'm getting used to using this program again. It's been a couple years since I've used it, and it's also changed quite a bit too. So anyway, let's get back onto what we were talking about here. Um, like I said, here on the side here we have the um, the menu of all the things that we talked about. And I already talked about these things, and we're just going with a new chat. And so today, and so I'm gonna say, and so it's going to say, what can I help you today? So what we're going to do is, um, so you're going to tell it kind of what you want to do. All right. And so today, and you're just going to write it in, and my suggestion is you to talk to it like it's a human being, like it is your assistant. Today, I I want to colorize a photo. I want to colorize a photo. For this thread, I have to tell it a rule because I already established rules for it. For this thread, I want to act like I'm using your help for the first time. And then I'll ask it, does this make sense? Because what happens is it'll tell you back. What if you just do that? It'll just tell you something. But if you have it repeat it back to you, you're feel more assured that you are actually using it right. So always ask it, does this make sense? What's your thoughts on this? Think about it as a collaborative friend, okay? And so this is what it says. And sometimes it's going to take it a second here. Yes, that makes perfect sense. For this thread, I'll treat it like a clean slate, as if you are using my help for the first time. This means I won't assume any past rules, preferences, or workflows unless you explicitly restate them here. When you're ready, upload the photo and tell me just colorize or restoration to, realistic or stylized. Any time period, accuracy needed, any elements you want preserved exactly, drop the image when ready. Okay, so that's where we are right now. So we're going to do that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we are going to get a picture. Now, I've already got some pictures. I went through some old yearbooks, and we're going to go through here. I already went through some old yearbooks from Van Buren. And Van Buren, of course, I went to the yearbooks from the 70s. And of course, a lot of these I've already colorized and yada, yada, yada. And I've even animated some of these. So I'm not doing something that I haven't done before. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Let's look around for a picture that, would give us some opportunity to play a little bit. And so we're going to go through here and we're going to look at something that will look great when we're playing with it. All right, so and we want something with some that we can animate too. We can use we can use some photographs and stuff, and that's fine. But they're just gonna be sitting there with their eyes blinking, and that's pretty much it. And that's kind of boring, right? So let's do this one. Let's go with this picture of, and I'll bring this up here so you can see it a little better here. Open it up here. We'll open it up here. This picture right here of these guys are rock and rolling. Okay. I think that will be a great, perfect picture for that. Um, and we kind of have a general idea of what those things look like. For example, we have a drum set right here, right? We all know that symbol is going to be a silvery color. We know that this guy's pants is probably going to be white and black or gray and black, right? And then he's got the shirt on that's white, and then a tie is probably going to match as well. And then we've got this guy over here who's kind of got some blue and gray pants also. And then we got a guy in the back here with blue jeans and a hat and everything else. And then the wall back here. This wall looks like it might be cinder block, maybe, right? We'll assume it's a cinder block because it's got these little slats on it. And the wording over here, we don't know what those wordings are. We know what the letters are, but that's it. We know there's like this flower right here, and it looks white or yellow or something. And so we're gonna go from that. So when we do this, we're gonna use that picture. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna put that in there. We're gonna VBH as rock and roll. Okay. All right, so now we're going to animate this thing. Now, here's the thing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to think about a couple of things. Our picture was cut out of a yearbook, and we want to format this thing for high definition, like a 1080p. All right, so here's what we're going to do. All right, so we're going to think about, if we just say colorize it, we're going to hit the word colorize so you can see what it looks like first. Just say colorize. All right, we're going to colorize this thing, and we're going to go, and we're just going to say colorize and see what it comes up with. All right. So now it's going to colorize the image. And like I said, it takes a little while. It's not instant. It's got to go through all the elements. It's going to look at it and everything else. Now, of course, we're using a clean slate, so it may For all we know, it may give us modern colors. It might give us hot pink. It says, okay, 1960 rock band on stage. Now it's going to give us two choices. Sometimes it gives us two choices, sometimes it doesn't. And that's cool. When it gives you two choices, you're like, oh, okay, I've got something. Which one is better? Sometimes they'll even give you four choices. And boy, is this taking forever. Oh my gosh. It's like watching paint dry. Recently, I did animate one of these things. Okay, there we go. It came up. Both of these look great. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's look at the pic. Let's analyze them both. Okay, we'll look at this one first. We'll bring this up first. And as you can see here, the backside here is, there's some color to it. It's got some depth. It's got, we see the symbols. It definitely looks right. We got some blue jeans here, and it's got the shirt and the hat and the sunglasses. It all looks like, stuff that you would see. And then we can go over here and look at the other one. This one, of course, is pretty much the same thing, except the coloring is a little different on here, and so forth, right? So right here would be perfect. I mean, we could utilize this picture and and call it good. But what if, for example, the guy in the sunglasses right here, all right, the sunglasses, he has actually red hair. And we know this because it's a picture of us, right? So, um, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna say change guy, or you can say change singer's hair to red. And let's see what happens. And of course, like I said, it takes a little bit, takes a little moment here for us to get it all. We went to well, we're only one person right now. That's okay. All right, now the guy has red hair. As you can see, the guy has red hair, and it looks great. We've got the guy in the background. He's not really doing much. Um, he's just kind of sitting there. So when we're animating these things, we have to think about um, some other aspects of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to put have drummer show drumsticks. And we're going to have him look forward too. And look forward. Now, the more you define this right here, the easier your picture is going to be when you start animating it, because it's going to get, you have to think ahead a lot of times about natural movements and also what computers will do, because they'll add things. Um, and that's a challenge. So if you can put together your picture right here in ChatGPT first, then you can animate it in the other program, Artlist, and it will be better. I've done things one time where I've told it to, take something off of a shelf or whatever. I'll take something off the shelf, but then it'll leave a blank or it won't leave it blank. It's like it just like duplicated it. or the hands get wonky, or it just it depends on how you um, add to the scene. So hopefully this one will get it right here. The other thing is if you have side profiles, it will. There we go. Okay, so now we've got him looking at it, and we've got everybody doing their thing. So there it is. There's the picture we want. All right. So now what we've done is we got a great picture. It looks awesome. We'll bring it forward here so you can get a little closer look at it. There, that looks great. I love this picture. Um, so now what we're going to do is we are going to download this picture, and we'll save image as, and we're going to save it as a PNG. We're going to leave it in our download folder because, and these are all the things I've been working on. So we'll leave that down there, and we'll just call it Rock Band right now. Okay. That way, if we misplace it, we can find it. And we're going to make sure that thing is in a PNG file. If you put it in as, and PNG is the default um, for ChatGPT. If you put it in as a bitmap or you put it in as a JPEG, a lot of times things will not work the way it is. PNGs are a what they call a lossless file, and so there's not so many artifacts on it. All right, so now let's go over here to our new other program called Artlist. Now, Artlist, of course, is a great program. I'll show you some of the other stuff here. Artlist it's going to ask you what you want to create today. You can even do voiceovers. You can do a lot of things. I shelled out a couple bucks for so I can use more of it. The free, you can do it for free, but you can't download the video. It'll just show you how to do it. So, and you can get the price for that is, and I'll show it to you here, just so we don't go to it. Well, this one right here says for a monthly plan of $800. I did not pay that much. I paid $30 for mine, so I could do it. So, but you can add things to it if you run out of credits. You have to have credits, and it's really great because the credits, it will tell you how much credits you have left on it. So we're going to go over here to AI video. We're going to click on this link right here, AI video. And we've already, like I said, I've already done things. Here's some examples of some creations that other people have done. I'll show you my creations here, just so you have a general idea of what I've been working on. There's one that didn't turns out so great. I mean, this guy's hammer is all jacked up. But he's doing what he's supposed to do. The hammer right here is supposed to give it to him, and I kept the hammer. This one is, the guy's just talking to him, which is probably the best one. This one I have him. I was wanting him to walk down, looking at it, but it went backwards instead. So that's where we are on that one. This guy was looking at paint. We have him looking at paint. That was kind of, I had him taking paint and putting it back on there. It wasn't working, so I just had him looking at the cans. We have a scene of a cityscape, which is great. For some reason I screwed this one up, and it didn't animate the truck right here coming at us. But I did figure that out. I did fix it later. So there it is right there. There's another one with them going through a drive-through right here. That's great. And I put a dog in there and everything else. We have some kind of looking stuff there. But there's just a lot of different. Oh, here's one at a supermarket. Here's one another supermarket scene. And so there's a lot of shoe store. Sometimes it works out, doesn't do so good. Like I told you. Like this one right here, they're fixing cakes. Well, then all of a sudden they took the cake apart, the little cake device apart. And see, it's like, yeah, that's not what we want to do. So it has its limitations, but you can do a lot of things with it. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see what we can do with our new scene. So we're going to back up here. And we're going to go to image to video. Click on image to video. And we're going to upload this. And we're going to upload image to video. And we're going to go to those little pictures from we used last time, and then we're going to use our rock band photo. All right. Now, we can do a couple of things with this. Now, if you just put it in like this and you put animate on it, you have no idea what animate's going to do. It's going to do some crazy stuff. So, just for fun, let's put that in here. Animate. Animate this photo. Okay, let's just say animate this photo. And let's see what happens. Who knows? It might turn out really great. Now, for us, our usage, we're going to make sure it's at 720p because we're going to put it on the internet. We're going to have 5 seconds, and then this is the model right here. This was different kinds of things. One's faster, one's realistic. The characters, you can even sync sounds, all these other things. But the thing is, the more you do it, the more credits it takes. For me, I prefer just this because it's going to be just for what I'm teaching you for. We're going to keep it simple. We're going to use King point 1.6. Also, there it is. And you can use a suggest prompt. I don't suggest doing that. I would suggest you just describe what you want in the photograph. All right, so here we go. Oh, also, I forgot to ask you, this text to video, you can use that too to come up with logos and other things too, but we're not doing that today. Also, there's this picture right here where you can colorize photos again. Don't use that. I would just use ChatGPT because it's cheaper. It's free. All right, let's animate it. And this takes forever. It's like I said, it's like watching paint dry. There is a countdown here. It's got this gummy bear turning into a monster, turning into flowers, turning into shoes. It's 5 seconds, 7 seconds, 8 seconds. It will animate that for you. Yeah, this is probably the slowest part of all. And typically what I do is I'll do that, and then I'll go back and I'll colorize another photo and put that in there. So yeah, what we're doing is very basic animation for AI. This is amazing stuff I've built. I've gotten old photographs and just made montages. And recently, for Woodruff Media, I did a commercial using old photos from Van Buren from your book, and talking about small businesses and how they die, and the reason why they die is because their stories aren't being told. And so I was able to do that, utilize that. Um, you've hit it well when you've got people who say, "Oh my gosh, there's a picture of me," or "Oh, I know that so and so," or "I went, oh, I used to go there." Um, and so it's a wonderful thing, a wonderful tool to get some great feedback. You got to be very honest with it, though. When you're using stuff, especially for marketing, you need to tell people that it is AI. Um, you can't. I mean, you can utilize it like it is Super 8 or film, but you need to put it on there that it's AI because people assume that there's video out there of them, and they didn't. Also, you want to be careful by not putting people's faces into situations that did not exist. For my purposes, it's all historical. I have it, like I say, got from the yearbooks, and it's the picture of them doing whatever they're doing, like, for example, playing rock and roll. And as we see right here, this guy is kind of singing, right? We've got the guy playing and the guy in the background playing. But then the guy back here, what is he doing? Is he playing the drums? Or is he just moving a stick around? So so here is so that's what we have to look at. All right, so now, and we can barely see this guy right here singing. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to make this better. We're going to animate this photo. And we're going to say from left to right. Man is playing guitar. Drummer in the back is we'll say using the cymbals, and drum. I don't know the word for the drum part. Snare and snare. Snare drum. Man in sunglasses is singing. And here's what we're going to do. I don't know if it'll actually do this, but just so we can have something, let's put singing. We'll say Sweet Caroline. Good times have never been so good. We'll use a little diamond here. Guitarist behind singer is playing. All right, so let's see how that is. And of course, we want to make sure that we don't have like typos because that confuses them. Animate this photo, and there it is. So let's hit that button and see what happens now. Okay. And there's our gummy bear, and our monster, and our flower turning into shoes, then an octopus, then a hamburger, then a shark or fish, then a gummy bear. 19%. And of course, the more stuff you put in there, the longer it might take to generate the video. Also, the likelihood of something happening. And so, in cases like this, when you have got a lot of moving parts in a video, sometimes you just have to pick your battles. And I've done it to where the first video I did, while I didn't like it, was the better one. What happens over time is if you keep doing it over and over again, it confuses it. I've tried to rename the files. I've tried to maybe manipulate it a certain way to where it can try to fool the. But the thing is, it detects what it is and says, "Yeah, I've used this photo before," and it'll go back to what it was doing. So it's not stupid, but it is stupid, and it's not perfected yet. I would say probably within the next 2 years, it will be perfected. Because just about a year or so ago, the AIs had pictures and stuff had like 6 fingers and noses and just weird stuff. It's getting better the more we train it. And I would say within the next 10 years, you're going to see stuff like this being used more. Um, it will probably definitely replace actors in some regards. There are going to be a lot of industry rules that come out that says, yeah, we only use live actors, we don't use AI. I'm at a point where I'm going to use it, but I'm going to be very ethical about it. Okay, here we go. So now we've got the picture, and look, here it is. Now we've got not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. We still got some weird stuff over here, but it'll work. It'll work. All right, so now they're singing. Are they singing Sweet Caroline every time it's good? It's good. I don't know if they are or not because we don't have audio with it. You can add audio to it. Like I said, be very ethical when you're doing that. Don't be putting words in people's mouths. But yeah, it's great. I like it. It looks good. So there it is. We've animated it. So there it is. We did a great job. Hope you learned a lot from this here from Mac Designs. If you have anything that you would like to see me do, um, give me just a little message down at the bottom. Um, I know watching a guy edit stuff is like watching paint dry, watching grass grow, or whatever. But I try to keep it as interesting as possible using things that I know people will be interested in learning about. And also, I also want you to know that here at Woodruff Media Management, media, um, we do have a set of ethics that we follow. We will never use AI for nefarious means. We'll always use historically accurate. We'll also make sure that when we do use it, we label it. We would also rather use live actors instead of AI stuff. That's more of a preference. It keeps people employed. Also, of course, it keeps us grounded in our community. But I will use it from time to time for certain things. Also, when I'm making commercials, writing commercials, I'll use AI for my own scripts, but I will never use it for a client's script because um, that's not ethical either. So that's something that I really I set up some rules with AI and some understandings. And so I might ask it, hey, I'm working on this project, give me some ideas, and then I'll use it to get the creative juices flowing. But I will not use it to do the entire work for other people and clients. Me myself, yes, because I'm a one man band and I need all the help I can get, right? Well, anyway, I want to thank you all very much. You all have a wonderful day. We want to thank you for watching, and you can subscribe to our channels, Woodruff Media on Facebook and Woodruff Media on YouTube, and we'll keep you informed of what's going on. Have a wonderful day, folks. We'll see you later.